What's up, guys, and welcome back to another NBA News and Analytic Commentary episode. Today is June 30th, 2021, and today we're going to be talking about the Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. And the Bucks entered this series up 2-1. This game was played in Atlanta, Georgia, so the Hawks had home court advantage, and they were able to win by 22 points to make the series tied 2-2, heading back to Milwaukee for Game 5 on Thursday. So, how did the Hawks win? Well, Trae Young, their star point guard, was out because in Game 3, he tripped over the referee and it looked like he had injured his ankle. He did not play today, but the Hawks still won by 22, and many thought this series was over since Trae Young didn't play today, because even if he came back, they would be down 3-1, and that's a fair assessment. But the reason for why the Hawks won this game, is because, first of all, they played well. They overperformed without Trae Young, and before the accident that happened with superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, two-time MVP, they were still winning the game. The Hawks were still ahead and in the lead. So the reason for this win was not the Giannis injury, which I'm going to talk about now, and you did hear me correctly. Giannis Antetokounmpo had a bad landing and he suffered an injury, and the way it looks is that he is probably not going to return for Game 5 and maybe even the rest of the series, and possibly the beginning of the finals, if not the entire playoffs, if the Milwaukee Bucks do advance and go to the NBA Finals against either the Phoenix Suns or the Los Angeles Clippers. And right now the Suns are up 3-2 heading into a Game 6 in Los Angeles, except it easily could have gone the other way. It could be the Clippers up 3-2 looking to close it out at home if they would have prevented the DeAndre Ayton miracle alley-oop. So, with Giannis Antetokounmpo injured, do I think the Bucks are out of this series? No, I don't think they are, especially since Trae Young's injured as well, and I see Chris Middleton performing well. I see Drew Holiday stepping up, and PJ Tucker playing great defense just like he did in the series against the Brooklyn Nets, in which they won in 7 games to advance to the finals, to the Eastern Conference Finals. And like I said, they're playing the Atlanta Hawks. Now, with all this injuries, it makes me want to bring up this point. LeBron James tweeted out that nobody would listen to him about the amount of injuries that are going into this season. And in this postseason, so many players have been injured. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Trae Young, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, except he did come back and he played through the injury. It wasn't anything severe, but it was broken nose, but it's still considered an injury. But that's not from a lack of conditioning. That's just from Patrick Beverley playing way too aggressive defense, basically to the point where it looks like he's ready to murder someone on the court. But contrary to popular opinion, I believe that this season, the amount of injuries does have a role to play with the setup of the season and how there were only 72 regular season games instead of 82, except there was the least amount of rest time, especially for those who played in the NBA Finals last year, between the end of this season to the beginning of this season. And other players that got injured were Anthony Davis. LeBron James had to play through some injuries. He was, never consistent with the Lakers from, beyond February. He was just on and off the court, playing through injury when he was on the court the majority of the time. So it definitely had a role to play with this postseason, and that's what makes this postseason so interesting, is nobody knows who's going to win, truly. Like, no one knows. Nobody would have predicted the Hawks making the Eastern Conference Finals, or the Bucks beating the Nets, or the Nets not even making the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't think anybody would have predicted the Los Angeles Lakers, no matter what their seeding was, losing in the first round. I mean, I don't think anyone in their right mind would have said that, especially at the beginning of the year, and even before the postseason, even a month before the postseason. Everyone, including myself, I thought that the Lakers were going to be one of the best lower seeds in the Western Conference of all time, and at least make the Western Conference Finals, but I guess not. So, yeah, the injuries are a huge aspect of this playoff, and hey, it's really a battle of conditioning, and notice how all of the teams that are left in this playoff were eliminated in the East by the time the Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals were taking place in the bubble. So they got more rest time. Except players are still getting injured because even though they got more or less rest time, they still got less rest time than they usually do. So although I don't believe LeBron James is 100% correct, I do agree with the standpoint that this season easily could have affected the amount of injuries that are taking place in both the regular season and the postseason. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section about that take. Do you think LeBron James is right or wrong? And tell me why. And next up, we're going to be talking about is Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals in Staples Center in Los Angeles between the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers. And the Clippers, they stole Game 5 in Phoenix to make them down 3-2 instead of the series ending. And they're 1-2 in Phoenix, but they could easily be 2-1 if they would have prevented a DeAndre Ayton alley-oop. And although that is a probability, and probability it never has anything to do with any sporting event that's taking place, and that's because the play of the players on the court, on the field, on the ice at any given time determines the outcome of the game, and that is what I love so much about sports. Any team can win in any given moment. I don't care who the team is. They can win because they are professional athletes. So if the Clippers win, then there'll be a Game 7 in Phoenix on Friday to determine who makes it to the NBA Finals. So let me know, who do you guys think is going to win both of these series? Tell me your finals predictions in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'm your boy Meatloaf, and I'll see you guys in the next video.